I thought this video needed an intro, so there's a Ford Ranger, probably a 86. And this is a 2012 Ford Fusion. And this is a 6-speed Mazda Miata transmission. We're going to slam all these pieces together and see what happens. Not in this video, but in a series of them. Alright, time to start the video. And I think on this video I'll show you how you typically remove a front-wheel drive engine and transmission from a front-wheel drive car. So the first thing we need to do is unhook all our wires and hoses and crap. So keep in mind, all I need out of this car is the engine and part of the wiring harness. So if you see me getting rough with parts and breaking stuff, it just doesn't matter because I only need those two parts. But if you're doing this yourself and you're repairing the vehicle or replacing parts on it, you need to be more careful in what you're doing. Some of this stuff I'm taking off just to get it out of my way. You would have to probably take the air box and stuff out of the way anyways. If it makes the job easier to remove stuff and it doesn't take long to do it, then do it. So it didn't take long. I have most of the hoses and wires unhooked, disconnected. I'm going to leave these mounts on for now. This one here and this one on the other side right here. We'll raise it up and then turn the cradle loose from the body, lower it back down, then we'll get to those two mounts and then raise it up again and it should just stay there on the floor. Christmas present for my dear sweet woman. Nice, man. Nice. Normally you want to take your caliper off and leave it with the car. The brake lines are normally stay with the body on the cars. And then you have to decide what do you want to go with this cradle and what you want to stay on the body. To get these ball joints loose, you can use a pickle fork, and that usually tears the rubber. So I usually just take a big hammer and smack it, and it'll come loose. Watch closely. I'll demonstrate for you. Like so. Easy peasy. The rack and pinion on this one, the steering gear, is electric. Some of them are hydraulic, and they will stay with the body sometimes. This one is mounted to the cradle, so it's coming with the cradle. But don't forget to unhook the steering shaft up there that goes to the steering wheel. And I think that's all I have to do on this one. I won't be using this little birdie preserver, but I will cut it off because she's worth money. So there the mess sits on top of those two wheels and tires. You know, those are junk too. I'm going to scrap them, so no big deal. Obviously, you wouldn't do it like this if you were repairing a vehicle. They make a stand that goes underneath them to hold all this crap, or you can make your own stand. Anyways, this is a little ghetto, a little redneck. That's all right. Now let's see what happens if I... Oh, pry her loose. And there it is. The whole junk's just laying there now on the floor. I'm going to raise it up slowly, the body. And as I do, I need to be checking to make sure there's no wires still attached. And honestly, I didn't take that much time, so there probably is one or two here or there. So we'll get them as we raise it up. Looks good so far. Let's keep raising her up. So there's the whole junky pile right there on the floor. And this right here is the transmission. That's the engine, and we're going to separate the two. This starter has to come off so I can access the torque converter bolts so that we can separate the engine from the transmission. So you have to turn the engine to line these nuts up right here. And the way you do that is just hook to your harmonic balance pulley right there with a ratchet. And you will turn it like so. And you will look over here, and when you line up your nut, you'll see it. And there she is. You stop there so you can unbolt it. And here's something funny. I thought, how am I going to get a ratchet in there with this metal here? Well, it's not metal, it's rubber. So you just pop her out, and I now have good, clear access. So before I put this engine over here on the engine stand, because I need to do a lot of work to it, I want to see if this transmission will mount to it. Let me get that flywheel zipped off and we'll try it. And for those of you that were looking forward to correcting me in the comments, this is a flex plate, not a flywheel, a flex plate. So there she is, ladies and gentlemen. A perfect match, a perfect fit. My standard rear-wheel drive transmission mounted to this front-wheel drive engine. This is going to be an awesome power plant for my 85 or 6 Ranger. It won't be long now, and this jewel right here will be getting a transplant. And she will run like she never has before. So far, things are working out great. This transmission, it mounted right up to this 2.5 Ford Fusion engine. Next step is to get this engine on the stand. And by the way, I got a video of this engine running. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description below. You might be interested in watching it. Anyways, once I get this on the stand, it's got a cracked head. We need to remove the head and do some engine work to it. I don't know how deep we'll get into it. We'll just have to see when we get it on the stand, see what it needs. Guys, thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram. I'll also leave a link for that in the description below. We'll see you next time.